Oh. Okay. All right. I think we're back. I hope we're back. I have to check now. I just want to make sure we're back. That's the funness of. I hope we're back. I have to check now. Let's get here. I just want to make sure we're back. All right. I think we're back. Are we back? Yeah, we're back. Oh, boy. Yeah, fun stuff there. So my Unity didn't crash, but I went to close it, and then everything just slowly stopped working. Yeah, that tends to happen when you're streaming. But, yeah, we're back now. Hopefully. I'll wait for everybody to get back in here. I'm sorry, guys. It's the way she goes sometimes. Gotta do some improvements, which is weird because my CPU was only at 19%, so I wasn't running very much. But hopefully, we can get things back on track here. And we should be good. Should be good to go here now. Yeah. Make sure I post in here. Y'all are crazy. Okay. Yep, I think we're back now. Finally. I'm just gonna close everything out, and then I'll have my trusty sidekick here, my moderator, kind of post questions for me. Okay, so to kind of get back to what we were doing before that lovely interruption. Yeah, so once you have your scene, we'll just talk about it here. Once you have your scene and you load in all your parts, your train details, all that fun stuff, then is when you're going to sectorize the train. But to keep in mind, it will delete the train. So then you're going to want to add all the details, etc. before sectorizing. And then on the camera, what we're going to do is we're going to add in the region loader to the train. This will tell you which sections or sectors that need it loaded, and the loading size will do this for you within the region loader. Then what you would do is you would export all the sectors into the stream window and then hit play. You can turn off the image effects in the scene view, and then the Unity editor, this will be slow, but once you build your game, you won't have that issue. And then you can save performance by adding the sector : camera, and then check mark the : editor as well. So that way you get both. Yeah, I don't think we can see the image in there. I might pull that in there. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. Technical difficulties. But yeah, that is what we would do there. Oh wait, I think it's now saying we're live. That's funny. I had some difficulties getting the technical difficulties image up. It's gonna be one of those kind of nights. No, I hope not. We'll get the track going again here. But yeah. So I wonder, let's do it this way. So we'll go sector, demos, streaming, open world. We'll just open up the open world scene here. And then we can see this. So when we click play here, this should already all be set up. You must export the scenes for the stream, for streaming before the demo will work. Please stop the demo and use sector stream window to export scenes and then play the demo again. Okay. So it doesn't set that part up, so you have to do that. What that means is you're going to go to window, procedure worlds, sector, and then terrain window. I think it already has. Okay, so it's already set up. So then we're going to go window, procedure worlds, sector, stream window. And then we're going to hit this export all sectors. Would you like to make a backup first? No, we already have a backup. We're fine. You would want to save a backup when you do this. Always save. Everything you do before you make any major steps, save it. Granted, we're not going to do that because we have the demo scene, so we don't need to make a backup. So what it's doing now is exporting all the scenes and exporting all the terrains and sectors. So now, it's going to look empty, like you lost everything. But have no fear. We're going to hit play. And there we go. We have it. Guys, like the stream. Thanks for liking the stream, buddy. The region loader component loads everything around the player. So if we control the pip here, what we can see is we can see these two trains here. We'll go back to the character. And what we can start to see is these trains being loaded in. Right? So if we go click out of this, make this a tad bit bigger, and we'll go stats. This large train that we have, we're hitting about upper 460 frames a second. And you can see that the pip camera there, you can start to see that loading in the trains as we're walking through here. And you can see it in our hierarchy when those start loading in as well. And we're still hitting, right now we're actually hitting about 550 average. Let's control the pip so we can see this. And it should be, I think, in front of, which is top right. We'll start to see those being loaded in. Now, the region loader camera will determine how much of the scenes or sectors gets loaded in, and you can increase that size. So as we're going through here, we're getting tons of high FPS here. just by adding in sector. And this is the world streaming. So I think Games Garden, you were asking about that earlier, if you're still in here after that wipe. And then now you can see those other trains drop off. If you turn around, we'll see those two load back in. And bam. And see in the hierarchy, it's loaded in those 4 sections. So now you can see all 4 parts of that train. And we're still getting fantastic FPS. Do you use portals for world streaming? No, I don't believe so. You only use... So if we go... Alright, there's actually a few things I want to talk about in here. So we'll import all sectors here. We don't need to make a backup. Alright, so we imported all of our sectors. So let's take a look at this. Train. So each part of these... okay, so they're train portals is what they're called. So not like the portals that we were talking about before, but these are separate portals here. And you would do it pretty much the same way as before. So you'd right click, procedure world sector, streaming. I would think it'd be in... It might actually already do it for you, to be honest. I think it does it for you. So you can go region loader, so to add that in there. Group loader, start loader, loading door. So yeah, I believe it does it for you when you do this. Let's find out. So there's that right there. And we might go to window, procedure worlds, sector, train window. So it splits the terrain to create mesh for portals. Okay, so you just have to check mark that right there. And do it for you. So that's where that would be. Drop objects to move them into sectors. And we have all of our train sectors right here, which is quite a bit. So if we look at the portal here, yeah, this is where it show through, pass through, which we don't have to. What is the best way to start zones the ground can load in before the player? What is the best way to set up a start zone so the ground can be loaded in for the player? So initially, well, you just set your player wherever that sector is going to start. Actually, I think we had a question about that earlier in Discord. We were talking in when it comes to, let me look here because I don't want to say wrong. So what we were doing earlier was basically when you save the game and your character's on a certain portion of the map, you save it. How do you get that to go, that character to spawn in the exact same position that he was in when you saved the game? And so initially, when you have your sector loader in, you're going to have to create a script that disables the sector loader, or the region loader. And then once the player is moved to the correct location, then re-enable the region loader. I believe you would need to load the position first, and then the region loader disabled, move the player, and then you'd have to make a script to make that work. But as far as starting off like this, keep them in the sector wherever the start zone is. So say if this first train here This one is my starting loading area. I would have my character within there, and then have the, where's our stream player here? So this is our first one, and he's separated from it, but he's got the region loader on here. Sector FPS controller. Sorry, guys. He's got the controller and the member. So this would update. The balance update mode would always update. And it would update in real time. Alright, so I'll actually send you some stuff if you want to learn a little bit more about that. But that's essentially how you would go through about it. And then here's your regional loader, which you can increase the size of this and load more sectors at a time. And if you're having issues where you're thanks for the follow, no name. No name to you too. Okay. So I need a regional loader and sector member on my player. Yeah. We'll go through that a little bit later. Game. And just send me a message on Discord. We'll talk about it. But yeah. So you had all that stuff. So if you're running into issues where when you're streaming through this and it's creating too much of a like a jump there where you're starting to see those sector parts come in, what you can do is increase this load size here. Right? Just increase that. Now, there's something called the active floating point fix. And what this means is if you add this to your sector or into your project, what will happen is it will reset to 000 each and every time, right? It's more of a flawless transition. But that's a whole nother topic. But you can add that in, and we might go over that at some point. But yeah, export all sectors. We don't need to make a backup. You would normally if you're creating your game. We're just using demo scene, so I don't need to do that. Always save before you do something. Always. There's just a lot. There's a lot of parts when it comes to sector in general. And now they're all exported. There we go. Close that out. We don't need it. Actually, just drag that in here. Hit play. Let's take a look at this. Alright, so the region loader component loads everything around the player. Press any key to continue, and then bam. So even, not necessarily maximum, but even full size on this, which I think you guys can see this on stream actually probably really well. We're hitting about 490 frames a second on average. And it's not a bad little scene. It's actually very dense. It's got a lot of trees in here and stuff like that. Right. So we can start to do that all. Hit spacebar, jump up this little hill here. But once we increase this regional loader, let's say 500. Notice our pip there is changed. So now these are all the trains that we've loaded in. Right? So watch how that works. So we'll mark this down to 200 and we have 4. 500, we have 6. So now you shouldn't see... You're going to take a performance hit, right? Because you're having more loaded all at one time. But if you start to see flickering or harsh load-ins, you just add that in. So yeah. I guess I don't really need those on. But yeah, that's how that would work. So let's continue looking at this. We went through audio, kind of went through streaming here. We can take a look at sector complete. All right. I think this should be set up everywhere. Okay, it's set up still. So this is sector complete. Now, kind of same thing. This is more of like a loading, right? So these are loading in as the door. So if you think of Resident Evil, once you go up to the door, it loads in everything for you, and then it completely unlocks it. Had the screen memory. Oh, my bad. I didn't actually think it was that loud. Here, let me turn it down. There we go. Having fog in the distance would help with the popping of trees and objects. Yes, it would. Yes, it would. You can do it that way. There's so many different options you can do. But yeah, if anybody's ever played Resident Evil, you know how they did the doors? That's kind of how this loading works. Alright, so the room's loaded in, and as soon as we walk through the door, the room's unloaded. Now the hallways are loaded in. And as we're walking through here, you can see each of the parts being loaded and unloaded all at the same time. Bam, another doorway. Wait for the next part to load in. Bam. And kind of same thing. It's all unloaded. Now we transition. And we're back in the open world. So if you're doing transitioning between a building or just another playable area versus a playable area, that's kind of a really good transition point. Right? And we start to look through here, and we can see all that. And then bam, there's your terrain. And then we can simply just go back in here. And this would be like what would be seamless unloading and loading. Granted, it's still loading and it's still unloading, but it's a way to do it while you're still saving performance. Bam, all the trains unloaded. So that's kind of how that works. Let's see if we can see an open world version of this. In an open world. Okay. So, train calling, Baby slow in the Unity 4 editor. Run and standalone build to see real performance. Okay, so it's kind of the same thing we were talking about before, right? So, this is the same type of loading style. If you can see it in the PIP camera there, that everything is loading behind or unloading behind me while everything in front of me is loading. And while you're looking through here, you're not seeing any issue, right? As we're looking through here. Like, even fast unloading or just fast movement, you can't see it like splitting or anything like that. It's just consistent. And it's only loading what's in front of me and what my player can visually see. See how that works. But it's fun to mess with these little prefabs here. Granted, stuff like this, we'd probably increase the range just a tad bit of the draw instance, maybe, if we can, because that grass is kind of loading in here, not so hot. So we just increase that draw instance. You'd expect a little bit of performance dip, not too bad, just because you're trying to load in more details. But also, you know, you want to build a game. Go about it that way. What else? What else? So we looked at audio, looked at complete stream. We can look at visual now. Alright. Yeah. Yeah, it can. That's not too much of a worry. When you're... There's always little tricks you can do to do stuff like that, to save on performance and stuff. Do you necessarily have to? You don't have to. If it incorporates in your scene fairly well to do something like that, sure, why not? Right? When you break line of sight. So there's occlusion culling, and then there's simple culling when it comes to sector. Simple culling renders anything in the camera's path regardless, versus occlusion culling what renders only what it needs to. Occlusion culling is kind of the best way to go versus simple culling, because you're saving performance that way, and you're only loading in what the player needs to see, right? So even if we hit play here, I think this kind of shows it really well if I remember correctly. Alright, so as we're walking through here, you can see the rooms being loaded in and not being loaded in. So as we go back in this corner, right, we can only see the room to our left, the door, and maybe that hallway if we had x-ray, or we can see that room way back there. So as we're walking through, we can no longer see this room, so it starts to clear off. The camera doesn't need to render it anymore. And we're kind of doing the same thing as we're walking through these rooms. Alright, if we disable that, it's automatically drawing in the next room regardless. Alright, so you can see that. So right now it's disabled. You see how it's loading in more? Not too bad still. We're still saving. But it's not as great as if you were having culling, or occlusion culling. Alright, so we'll go to visualize player. So here's that simple culling mode right there. And you can start to see that. Now if we go back to scene, turn on gizmos. What we can see here, while you're doing this, notice these boxes, or this side of view right here. Alright, so we can visualize this. See, our site's blocked off there. Once it's hit, there's our side of view, and it's closing that off. Then we can start to see all three of the rooms as it's going past, and part of the room to our right, if we're in full screen, and then bam, you can start to see that visually. Now if we disable that, look what happens. Our player now sees everything. Or our game is basically tell it to see everything. Right? So you're gonna take a performance hit. Not too bad, but not as good either. From YouTube, Bela Creation. Hey bro, can you start a Unity car racing series like Need for Speed? Yeah, I bet we can do something like that. I've got a few different options in mind that I want to start trying out. Granted, we've got that one game that we started kind of making, which I want to touch on too, of that horror style series game with the zombie, if you guys remember that from last few times. So we'll take a look at that, but we might do something like that. I actually really love Need for Speed. There's another thing I want to throw at you guys too, and we might kind of do it in here. So what do you guys think about doing kind of a game jam in a sense, right? So doing something like, hey, you know, everybody, you guys have let's say a week to make a game, and then what we'll do is you guys send me, you know, the games at the end of the week, and then on our next stream we'll open them up and we'll kind of go through them and talk about them and stuff like that. I thought about doing something like that. I think that'd be really cool. Right, nothing too crazy, nothing too hard or anything like that, but something really cool like that. Let me know what you guys think, because I'm really curious about that. And then, like I said, you guys can see our Discord link below. It's exclamation PW Discord for the Procedure Worlds Discord. I think something like that would be really fun to do. But yeah, let me know what your guys' ideas are, or what you guys think of that. We might do something like that. It might be fun to do. So not necessarily a game jam, but something kind of close. But yeah, so as you can see through there, those boxes, that's what I was kind of talking about. You can see that in Pip Camera as well. A little pin. I think it would be cool. It may be more casual if people just submit their Gaia maps to explore. Yeah, something like that. Just do Gaia environment. Say, hey, everybody, make your Gaia environment. You can use any of the Procedure Worlds assets, any other assets you guys want to use, and let's check out some of the best environments we can come up with, right, in a week. Because obviously you guys can see what we can do in 10 minutes or less, right? But let's then try to make a really nice environment within a week. I think that'd be really cool. I might partake in that too, right? Let's see how good you guys can to make these environments. All right, so we'll close out of that. So, yeah, there's a whole bunch of parts of Sector. Something else that I've seen before, and a question that was asked. Granted, I answered it in Discord, but a really cool thing that you guys can do is you can make sectors. So what we'll do, we'll create empty object, and we'll call this our sector house underscore house. All right. You should develop a tool like Ivy that will go randomly different types of sea coral, fan coral, branch coral, stack coral, brain coral. Would pay $39 or $49 for a tool like that. Yeah, that's pretty cool. We might have to look into that. Do some stuff like that. Procedurally generated content in general is just really fun to play with, right? Because you have so many different options to choose from. To randomly grow it, that would be really cool. You may be able to use Ivy for that. Not sure. I don't own it. Possibly. You can possibly do something like that. So if you create, what Real Ivy does is, once you have your, I think I still have it open. No, I don't. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. I talked about trying to use Ivy to do, I think, grow and produce the coral. Yeah, so it works on these prefab based system, right? So what you could possibly do is make your corals and put that as your vines material, maybe, and then change the growth settings a bit, and then put in like the parts of the coral, its own separate like textures maybe, into here. I don't know. I think that'd probably be a workaround to get that to work. Because you got a ton of settings here to play with. I'm not sure if that would work, maybe, but I don't know. We might have to. You might have to message me on Discord, and we can talk about that. That's what I would say. Message me on Discord. Especially if you're creating an underwater game, that'd be really cool. That'd be really cool. Alright, so let's go back. Let's go back to our Twitch game, right? Our Twitch maybe. File open scene. Scenes, Twitch maybe. Don't save. There we go. Alright. So this was our Twitch game that we were making. Yeah, we don't need that. Alright. Yeah. Yeah, you can do it that way. That'd be actually a really interesting way to do that. So take Real Ivy and spawn seaweed, and then make your prefabs of your corals and stuff like that, and then add that into. If you're gonna have a lot of it, I would add it to Gaia and create it as its own spawner, or add it into one of the spawners. So your rock spawner. Oop, we'll go here. You could add it to your rock spawner that way. Or just create its own spawner. If you're not planning on doing a whole lot of them, or want to do just special ones, then I would do it in like Gina. Either one you can do either way, right? You can. I think we were playing with that the other day. Actually, let me close that. Oop, drop that down. So like, I think I already have Gina in here. Procedure worlds. Yeah, I have Gina in here. So what you can do is go Gina, add spawner, and then within your spawner you can go spawn range, maybe draw it down a little bit. Instances, how many you want within its each click. So we can drop this down to like, I don't know, 1 through 5 or 1 through 9. You can actually spawn everywhere else too, like spawn globally. And then yeah, global spawn. Then what you would do is you're gonna go into like prefabs. Oop, not there. Let's go Gaia, Ascent samples. Let's go 3D Forge, props. We'll just take these logs for example. So say these were your corals. You go into your Gina spawner, add them in, create instances, and then spawn them in that way. Of course, we need to placement criteria. Every spawn. Let's go centered based off of the last spawn. Let's go fixed. Direct wall rotation. Oops. And then spawn criteria. So let's go point. Minimum height, that doesn't matter. Oh, actually that needs to be on 0. Check slope. Slope range. But essentially that's what you would do, is just add those in. Actually, let's spawn this. Spawn range down a little bit. But you would add it in the coral that way. I would add them globally. Or if you're gonna do globally, I like just add it into Gaia. And then if it's like one or every so often, like a special coral or something like that, I would do it through Gina. Big Shot Studio, what's up from Big Shot Studio? What's up? What's going on? Not sure if this question has been asked, but will there be more coming to the Cinti part of things? More coming to the Cinti part of things. What do you mean? I don't know what you mean. Up is usually the cross product of the forward and right vectors. Yeah. Nah. Oh yeah. Nice one. I got you now. I don't know what you mean by that. Not you, Bizarre. Big Shot. Big Shot Studio. That's good. But yeah, that's how I would do that. Lucian Studios. Your hardcore bizarre. Oh yeah, okay. Sorry, my mind was shot there. The low poly train assets. I got you now. I don't know. Sorry, I don't normally think. I don't normally think about low poly. I actually don't know. I'll have to ask. To be honest with you, on that one. How's the gnome this week? Oh, the humor. Oh, I'll definitely have to ask. I'll have to ask about that. Thanks for liking the stream. Yeah. I don't know about that one. That's one question I really have no answer to. Maybe send me a message on Discord, and I'll try to respond back to you as soon as I know something. All right, so let's talk about. I know before somebody was curious on in world streaming. Did you have simple culling on? No, I had occlusion culling. I would like to see more of it come to it, or I'd like to see more come to it. Okay. Yeah, send me a message on Discord, and we'll talk more about that. You can just at me or at Brian Procedure Worlds, and we'll talk more about that. Bit of delay, my fault. All good. Thanks, Bizarre. You're doing fantastic. I really appreciate it. That saves me a ton, so I appreciate it. So yeah, so let's get back into. I know a little while ago. A virtue. Laziness is a virtue. Nice. Takes a lot of innovation. Fair enough. Last time we were kind of talking about character scripting. Humble Bumble. Oh yeah, that's actually a really good point, Game Garden. On Humble Bumble, there was, I don't know if is that deal still going on? There was a deal going on with Cinti stuff or low poly stuff. They had a ton of assets for. Let's actually look at this. Let's see here. Yeah, they had a ton. So 17 days left. So you got a little while. For all these low poly stuff. For $25 or less or more, depending. You have to pay 20. So somebody asked me actually earlier about this, and it was so they didn't understand how these tiers worked. So essentially how it works is if you pay more than the average of 17, 18 to also unlocked. Okay. So you have to pay these, looks like $20 is the highest here. So if you pay $20, that's my Game Gardens link. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Oh, nice. Sweet. I didn't know that, actually. That's awesome. So if you pay more than $20, it looks like, you can get Tier 1 and Tier 2. The highest tier is, it looks like, more than the average. So if you pay $20, you can unlock this. Pay $25 or more, and you can also unlock these. That's usually how that stuff works, and then you can download it that way. And then that link, Bizarre, if you can share that link within Facebook and YouTube, that'd be great. Give me $100 and I'll think nicely of you. But some of these bundles are actually really cool. You pay for what you want on these, right? Those are cool little links there. Humble Bumble is actually a really cool site. Not so often do you see like 3D, like realism type content, but you see a lot of low poly stuff on there. Yeah, I think it's 2 weeks or something. Yeah, that was right. Thanks. I will show my son tomorrow. I tried for about 10 years to get him to make games with me. We'll pick up all your tools, and now he works with me almost every day. That's actually really cool. So kind of short story on that. My stepfather used to build games and stuff, and that's actually how I got into game design. As I watched him, do certain games. Oblivion to this day is my favorite game because of it. And that was my passion. And then growing up, I used to like to watch him do it and stuff. And then, now of course I'm doing game design. So that's really cool. That makes me happy. Awesome, thanks, man. We picked up almost every Polygon asset since he has, and been using them within procedural tools the last 2 months. That's awesome. Just a little quick bit for you. We also introduced bundles for those that don't know. You can now buy our bundles of our assets. You go to shop.proceduralworlds.com. That command is also in here as well. So if you ever want that link. And then, we have our all products bundle, starter kit bundle, world creation, world enhancement, right? So you can save some money when you buy our assets. That's what we try to do. We offer them on here, along with all of our regular products as well. So you can see all those. So, just a quick bit if you guys are wanting to save money. Updates and all that stuff works the same way. We push updates on there as well. Thanks for liking the stream, guys. I appreciate it. Sorry, I can't read those names up there. It's not Twitch. So I just say thank you. Alright, so last time we were talking about character scripting, right? So we had our zombie character. I don't think he's in here, so we'll have to add him back in here. And then we're going to attach a script to him that will give him health and then kind of run and chase after us. So that way we have all that. And thankfully, I already went through and did all this. So, if you guys want to see that, we can go through there and do that, and we can walk through it. I think somebody was asking about that beforehand, so I actually took the time and made the scripts for it. But yeah, that's really cool. Have you guys built anything yet? Lucian Studio? Shoulder hurts. That's my games card link. Give me $100 and I'll think nicely of you. It's fantastic. Yeah, man. We'll show my wife and son. I have all your tools, but my son started buying them now. He even upgraded Gaia Pro. My wife wants to get most of your tools also. That's awesome. That's really cool. So yeah, that makes me want to do these little showcase things that I was just talking about earlier. So like making an environment. Well, it's true, not a scam. My deal. Yeah, yeah, that's very true. That's very true. That's funny. Um, crazy. We started a building a top-down scroller and then a side scroller to see if we can work as a team and not look at each other as family. That's actually a really cool way to go about that. That's really cool. Kind of start doing that as how to work in a business environment, right? Teaching your son about that, and having some cooperation with your wife too. That's awesome. That's really cool. Alex, yeah, that tone. Have a good day, man. I'm sure your game will turn out great. You're the best. Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you. Someone discovered the caps lock. Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. So yeah. Um yeah, we'll start to mess with that character script and stuff like that. From Bala Creation. Sorry if I butchered that. I'm actually building an entire RPG game with Gaia. Nice. I absolutely fell in love with these assets when I saw them in action. That's awesome. After we got those done, we realized we worked as a team. We set aside about 3,000 to start and started buying assets. That's awesome. Sorry. You're fine. Thanks, Bazaar. I'm actually building entire. Oh, okay. I see what you mean. That's awesome. Both of you guys. That's awesome. No, you're good. I was able. I caught on there. I appreciate it. But it's really cool. There's a lot of great assets out there. There really is. Our tools are definitely, you know, top of the line. Not just because I work for them, but even before. Okay, so even before I started working with Procedure Worlds, I used Gaia and I used CTS and stuff like that, and I loved it. Especially because for me personally, I love open world, sandbox, realistic games, 3D, all that stuff. I love it. So these tools definitely help. And then, like I said, if you guys remember correctly from our first stream, which you guys can go to our Discord link and check out some of I think the first three before this one, we actually had created this, excuse me, we actually created this entire little world here, probably within like 10-15 minutes. I used Connex WMSK to partner with Procedure Worlds. Yeah. World Map Strategic Kit. That's awesome. Yeah, we have quite a few partners. So like 3D Forge, he's actually a really cool guy, and his assets are really cool. We only have one of them in, or part of his assets are actually in Gaia Pro, so you can check those out before coming on board. I mean, yeah. Let's check here. So we have, let's see all of our partners here. So we have 3D Forge. Oops. 3D Forge. And you can see all his stuff in here. So we go here. Here's all of his blueprints and stuff. His assets, his brief apps. They're actually really cool to check out. We now have a server in Activism X on site and have started building a Polygon MMO. That is really cool. That's really cool. Activism? Maybe I pronounced that right. Activism X. Yeah, I'd love to talk more with you. So reach out to me on Discord. If ever you need someone to test your MMO, let Games Garden and me know. We'll be more than happy to test it out. Or Game Garden. Sorry. Not Games Garden. Word. So yeah, we have these guys here. Let me see here. Okay. Alright, so we have, let's see here, 3D Forge, Backwoods Gaming, David and Miranda, Dogmatic, EE Productions, Hendrick, Chronic, Michael Enjamin, I can't pronounce that word, Nature Manufacturer, Polypixel, Random Chaos, Raphael, Speedtree, Cinti Studios. There's a whole Vegetation Studios, Turbo Scapular. Oh man, I'm bad at, I butcher names so bad. But yeah, there's a whole bunch. We'll I have a chat unification tool. I just didn't get it working. I need to get it working. I'm pretty sure we have purchased assets from everyone who partnered with you to expand on what we can do with your tools. You know beyond the demo assets they gave. You. So you made them money. Yeah. I'm gonna write a chat unification. Yeah, so I have one. I just don't have it pulled up right now because I was trying to get. I finally got everything working between YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. And of course, multi-streaming on Twitch is actually really easy. But to get everything working, I had to go a different route. And they've got their own unification system, but I couldn't get it working in time. So I was just gonna try to go back and forth. But thankfully, I have you. I appreciate it. Hopefully I'll have that working by next time. So you don't have to do that. I appreciate it though. On the chat, sock puppet bot. And I've added a bunch of stuff to Twitch now. I think if we go on here, there's a few more things I wanted to add to get everything working here. So yeah, now you have like channel points and then the suggestion box there. So if you guys have any suggestions on what we should do with these streams and stuff like that, you can go ahead and put those in there, and I'll take a look at them after each stream. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff we've added in here. There's a bunch of commands and stuff like that too. But yeah. So let's get back to this, and we'll have, like I said, I want to add in our zombie that we originally had. Prefabs. Let's open prefab. I just want to make sure he's okay. So he's got everything in here. Controller, zombie avatar, apply root, motion, normal calling. Okay, so he's good. Pow. We'll add zombie number 2 in here. Pow. And we'll play with him a little bit. It's a creepy zombie. It's a creepy zombie. And then what we'll do is we'll add component, and we will do a add a new script. We'll do assets, character. We'll open that up. We can do a Pegasus track too on him if we wanted to. We might do that here in a bit. Animation track. We'll do it all the old-fashioned way. I want to do that first. So we're gonna add create C# script. Let's like wait for Visual Studios to open up. Oh, there it is. Behavioral script. All right. Pow, 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 pow. All right. So, basics on the scripting. So we're using system collections. We're using our generic system collections, our Unity engine. Our class is going to be the name of the script. And then we don't need any of that. Void start, void update. So we can actually take all that out right here. Delete all that. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to do we're going to give our health and then our zombie. So we're going to make this a public class, and then we're going to go change this to global health. Mono behavior, open curly bracket, and then we'll do public static integer current health equals 20. And then we'll do public integer internal health we'll do void update, and then inside those current we'll have internal health equals current health. Go there. And then let's do thinking, pretty sure that's it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. And then close curly bracket. Close curly bracket. Okay, and then we'll save this. Go back to our Unity. we'll actually rename this to be our global health. Yeah, global health. Global health. And bam, now we have our script for global health. Now, we are going to do first person controller. So we have our first person controller. Yeah, that's fine. We'll keep it that way. I don't want to change that. And we'll go add to you. Oh, yeah. I need to make sure. I need to add that to the session. I'm saying that. I'm gonna make the other ones real quick. So then we'll go. We'll make our next one, which is gonna be our zombie AI. Yep. So zombie AI. And then we'll start doing this. Close that. Change this over to zombie AI. And this will give the zombie tracking the player. So now what we're going to do is, now that it's our public class, we're going to go public and then game object. Game object, the player. Oh, we'll need to do FPS. FPS. What do we name it in there? FPS controller? Yeah, FPS controller. Actually, we'll just name it the player. The player. And then public game object. The enemy. And then public float. Float. This will be the enemy speed. Enemy speed equals 0.01 float. And then public bool attack trigger equals false. I need to make sure those are close there. There we go. And then public bool is attacking equals false. There we go. And then now we need our voids. So void update. No, we don't need a private void. We just need that open void update, and then transform dot look at the player dot transform, and then if I'm going too fast, let me know. Bizarre, are you using any tools to help with the MMO aspect? Oh, Bizarre, he's asking for, who was it? My bad, I forgot already. Lucian Studio. Oh, I guess they can probably hear me. Lucian Studio, are you using any tools to help with the MMO aspect? I don't know why I was asking Bizarre to say that. He can hear me. One of our Twitch guys is asking. I think I'm totally gonna butcher this, but Vu Van Man? Vu Van Man? Hello? Hello. How you doing? Thank you for coming out. But yeah, if I'm going too fast, just let me know. We are doing our AI on our zombie character right now. Alright, so we'll go back to this. Oop, not that. Alright, and then after that, we'll do if curly, or brackets, not curly brackets, attack trigger equals false. In the curly bracket, we'll do enemy speed equals 0.01, and the enemy dot get component animation dot play is back up to walk. And then transform dot position equals vector 3 dot move towards transform dot position. And the player, capital P, dot transform dot position OSITI1 and enemy speed quotation. Alright. There's that. And then next one would be if attack trigger equals true and is attacking would equal false. Then we need to do curly bracket, enemy speed equals 0. The enemy dot get component animation curly's, or not curly brackets, just brackets, dot play attack. Need to add that in there. Nope, not that one. That one. Start coroutine and inflict damage. Damage. Alright, and then in curly bracket. And then a couple of small other ones that we need to do. I'll take a break there, check anything. What was the question? They asked if I was using something with MMO. Are you using any tools to help with the MMO aspect? So, like, are there any special tools that you have to use for MMO? Or any special assets that you have to use for MMO? I think that's what you're asking, right, Games? Game Garden? Really don't have to keep those on. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's what he's asking. Is there something wrong there? Oh, we'll take a look at it soon. I think we don't have to add that curly bracket in there. No, I think it's like that. Yeah. Because this curly bracket goes with this. Be like that. Um, yeah, it was crosstalk. Um, so in Games Garden, he's using this is what he said. Atavism, or I hope I'm pronouncing that right, has most things built in, but we use Vegetation Studio Pro for some things, Gina 2 for some, OOTII controllers, IV2, so real IV2, RAM, and their Lava tool, Gaia Pro for the trains. Are you using? Is there anything? I think he's asking on the MMO side. So the special part for the multiplayer is what he's asking about. I'm guessing. No, it's just the Antivism. ATAVISM. I'm Is it worth it? Game Garden is asking if it's worth it. Lucian Studios. We use Digger to make small caves for animals to hide in, not large enough for players. Oh, that's cool. I've liked the Digger tool. I wanna try to mess around with it. I'm a little sad I didn't pick it up when it was on sale though. I really meant to. Here, I'll drop that that link in there too. I don't know if it's been added in there since everything went down. Twitch.com/Mrs. Shadow. There's the Twitch link too. I don't know if it's been added in there. Atavism X on site is running on an older laptop with Ubuntu 2016.04 and runs flawless. It syncs up everything without us doing any code. I'll put that in there. Oh, good, buddy. Okay. We picked it up when it was on sale, but knowing how nice it is, I would pay the $4.99. Woo! $499. If I couldn't wait for the next sale. We are also buying their own characters and armor assets. Ah, very nice. Let me There you go, Game Garden. So you don't have to see me butcher the name. I'm bad about that. Alright. Come on. Alright, so yeah, let's finish up this code real quick. So then, let's do void on trigger, enter, curly bracket, attack, trigger, equals true, and curly bracket, void on trigger, exit, curly bracket, or not curly bracket, regular bracket, oh my god, now curly bracket, attack, trigger, equals false, in line, and then we'll do one last thing. Illuminator inflict damage curly bracket is attacking equals true, then yield return new wait 4 seconds 1.1 float enter global health dot current health minus equals 5. So we're giving him a health now. Enter. Then yield. Return. New. Wait 4 seconds. 0.2 float. And then lastly is attacking equals false. And quotation there, and then, or in squiggly bracket, and then in squiggly bracket. And there we go. Now we have our zombie AI. Script. Their character and armor sets are UMA, so it all works with anything UMA. And we use something called activism that is free for character creation. Ooh, I actually might really want to look into that. I think the hardest time that I have with game design, in general, is actually character creation. It's like one of my hardest things to do. I kind of struggle with it. Like, I can make environments, I can do scripting for the most part, you know, stuff like that, but character creation, I am terrible at it. I can do, like, basic stuff. but actual character creation I lack. Alright, so now that we got our script. Did your dad? Oh, you're killing me, Smalls. Did your dad have the talk? Yeah, well, actually, not really. Now I think about it. And then what we'll do is we'll save that. File. Save. Alright, now we got our zombie AI. I think we need to name this. I feel like I'm doing something wrong here. Is that it? Pick your console. I think you might have a script error. I did not ask for Cortana. Oh, yeah, okay. So my internal health is wrong. Oh, my current health is. So that needs to be. What is that? Oh, that needs to be equals. That's why. Is it minus and then equals, or is it just equals? Pretty sure it's just equals, ain't it? I was thinking it was just equals. Oh my god. What are you trying to do? Oh, let's fix this this code line here. I had it minus current health, but it should be equals current health, or I can't remember if it's minus equals current health. We'll try it that way. Save. See, it's still throwing. It looks like it's still throwing the error. Okay. Yeah, it'd be just equals. So it should be just like that. Yeah, that was it. Okay. Now, can we add it in here? Haha. There we go. We were just setting a value, so now it's working. We were trying to add the AI to it. So now, I think we should be able to add our global health. Yep. Fantastic. And then let's rename our... And boom goes dynamite. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Our FPS controller, we'll rename him to the player. So we're going all component here. Plus equals AI. Yeah. And we had a player tag on him, so fantastic there. We'll do, we need to add global health to him. Internal health, what, 100? Make his health 100. and internal health will make his 100. Now, if we do this right, where's my player? Let's see if this worked. He should be. Oh wait, I don't think we did the timeline yet for the editor. No, yeah, we still need to do the editor. There's a way to do it with the node editor, if I remember correctly. Oh, it's been so long since I've done it. What am I thinking here? Casual gamer, hey, how's it going? So we just made our global health, and we made our zombie AI. Pizza? No, I don't have any pizza. This is Unity, right? Yes, this is Unity. Everything you see here at its glory. 3D open world Unity. We are using procedural worlds assets and a few other assets that we kind of just took, like the zombie one. And then we just scripted out the global health between the enemy character and the player, your player, and then we did our zombie AI. Now we are going to... What else are we going to do? We need to make another script here. So we need to do the zombie health, and we need to do we need to give the zombie health. You know, I tried opening Unity on a Apple Mac. It's old, and it said we can't check this for, well, it's just software. Please get a hardware update. Oh, that's sad. Well, the first problem is Apple Mac. No, I'm kidding. I'm not a big fan of Macs. I built my computer, my desktop. Macs aren't bad. Wait, I think we were just reading a statement about that yesterday or day before. And it was something along the lines of, oh shit, what was it? Apple at its finest, yeah, amen. MacBook Pro. I think somebody was using a MacBook Pro, which Macs are good for like app development and stuff like that. I don't think they're really necessarily. I don't think they can handle like 3D power. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's right. Nah. Yeah. Um, Fam has Arcade Apple Music phones. Gotcha. Samsung guy. What graphics card did you put in my rig? I've got a Striker GTX 1080. So Unity is for making applications. You can make apps and stuff like that. You can do game design. You can do like visuals. What are those? Like 30-second movies. You know what I'm talking about? I can't think of the name of those damn things. Unity is actually an overall really good platform. Silent Z films. Like they made their short films is what I was thinking of. Short films. Some of Unity's short films are like fantastic. Like if you ever watched Adam, I think that was with 2019.1 maybe. TikTok. Vine, Silent Z films. Y'all crazy. Actually, I don't know if I can show you. This is my rig. Oh. There we go. That's my rig. I like it. Although, for too much longer, I want to get another one. Yeah, no, it's 32 gigabyte RAM. It's C sharp. It's Visual Studios. Yeah, Vine's dead. Vine. Well, I don't know if it's necessarily dead, but it's not as popular as it was. Now the new biggest thing is like, or not really biggest thing, but the new thing is like vlogging. Everybody's vlogging. David Dobrik and all those guys. Yeah, it's C sharp. Which I can do C sharp, HTML, uh, PHP. Yeah, TikTok is still pretty big. TikTok's still pretty big. Vlog is vlogs are definitely big now too, because of like David Dobrik and all his friends. I'll admit I watched a few of them. Some of them are kind of funny. Python. I know bits and pieces of Python. Probably not anymore. A lot of updates have been made since I even started messing with Python. I can do a lot of HTML, C sharp. Pretty much when it comes to game design, I found that C sharp is, I think, the most commonly used. So yeah, we need to make a, and will be for a long time. Yeah, it definitely will be. We need to make a zombie health is what we need to make. So let's create a C sharp script, and we'll call this zombie health. Hashtag using find.help. 0. There we go. Why I pulled up clear all that out. I don't have a coding computer, so when I'm in school, one of my friends was like, "I'm much better than you at coding." Him doing basic block coding and getting D, me doing Python and getting an A. Fair enough. We develop on HP Omen 17 i7 gaming laptops, 12 GB RAM, NVIDIA 956 GTX, 4 GB DDR5 memory, 1 TB mechanical, 2 drive, and 1 TB 5200 RPM drive. We ran an overclocking to overclock the GPU with the 1070 GTX. That's hilarious. I heard that the i7s are actually pretty good. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, what is it? Full Sail University gives those out. Casual Gamer, thanks for following. C and C++ is industry standard language for games. Yeah. I like C Sharp. I'm really interested in robotics and programming, but I do not have the proper equipment. That sucks. Robotics is really fun to get into. So, have a look at how many C++ jobs there are. I actually almost went to Full Sail University. So I realized that I was going to be $140,000 in debt for just 2 years. But then, I don't know, there's still a chance I actually might go back and do it. I like their bachelor degree program, so 2 years, right? And you can get your bachelor's. But the class workload is like really crazy. I thought about it though. Raspberry. Raspberry. No. I know, right? Yeah. Sorry, GTX 965 and overclock them. I don't think I overclock on mine. I don't have a need to overclock. And I like the GeForce experience. And there was something don't mess with a games degree. Go to computer science. Yeah. Full Sail's got a lot of good programs. I'm not endorsed by Full Sail. But they do have a lot of good programs. Their music program is actually pretty good too. And then I almost thought about business management actually. And then there's something else I wanted to try. I can't remember now. So my sister with a MacBook Air 2015 had the never to say, when I go back to college, you'll get my computer. Well, that's nice of her, though. That's nice of her. Oh, that's funny. The i7s, I can't remember. Mac is i7s, isn't it? Robotic starter kit can be done with Raspberry Pi or Arduino starter kit. Some good things from a hobby shop. Also, a used laptop from a pawn shop laptop for about $300 is about 90% of the code. Yeah, that's true. That's true. You really don't know you really don't need a whole lot when you're doing coding. Mac runs i5 or i7, depending on how many kidneys you want to sell. Yeah, fair enough. I know they're pretty expensive. What Asus is, they have a really good computer system. I'm trying to think, a laptop, and I can't remember what it was called anymore. I think i9 now too. But you'll be more in debt than going to school. I'm pretty sure Asus has a really good laptop, and I can't remember laptops. Can't remember what it was now. Was it the Asus Predator, maybe? What I would do if I was you, casual gamer, is actually go to cyberpowerpc.com. These guys are actually really good, and not that one. They're not too bad. You can get gaming laptops here, and then some really good like tower builds. And what's really cool, again, not affiliated with these guys, you can go in here and actually like change some of these parts around, and it will tell you the adjustments based off of what you choose, and you can go through it this way, right? You don't need all of like this crazy stuff. Just something simple to get you going. But they've got all this fun stuff, and you can pick and choose, and it tells you if it's compatible or not. Tells you what your expected range of FPS is, and like some of the normal games, what your results will get and stuff. For Australians. Yeah. X Gaming Systems. Yeah, that would be cool. But these guys are a pretty good company to look at. If there was a programmable laptop, which one would it be? Any of them? Yeah, any of them. You really, like anything from here, you're gonna be good to go. Or just not even anything from here, right? You don't even have to spend this much. You can buy like a cheap laptop for $300-400 and get away with it. GFX card though, yeah. No, I agree. But there's a couple of different ones you can look at there. Or a couple different sites, and they actually do financing and stuff like that too. Yeah, I don't think with programming you don't really need a dedicated. If you're doing graphics you would, but I don't think with programming you do. It depends on what you're trying to do. Yeah, that's true. It really depends on what you're trying to do. Like coding or robotics. It's a funny story. One of my sisters did a science fair, and she built a robotic arm, and she had this really crappy laptop. I think it was an old Dell laptop or something like that, and she was able to program a robotic arm to move and pick up something and hand it to you. And she won the science fair. It was pretty cool, actually. She won the state science fair. I like robotics. Ever since I watched Star Wars, I wanted to do a C-3PO. Even just games, one of the greatest games is NetHack. Yeah. So let's do, yeah. The same friend told me that he was better than me at coding, realized I was actually better than me, so he couldn't beat me in programming, so he went into agriculture. Guess what? Robotics is also about agriculture. Yes, that's true. You can find technology in any field you go into. Intel's HD graphics 630 is decent for GFX. Get high frames in 1080 and 720. Check YouTube. Yeah. Oh yeah, you can find all sorts of stuff all day long. Unity 3D runs in a single thread, so the single thread speed is more important than more cores. For example, Unity runs faster in our AMD computer than it did in 3900 X computer. Yeah, that's true. That's true. If I already made a sector grid without any of my Gaia terrain, can I still apply CTS? You can. Save a backup first before you do that. Save a backup, then try it. The problem is you don't really want to do the sector stuff. Okay, load everything in first, right? Have everything loaded, and then do it. Load all your sectors in first, and then apply your CTS profile, and then save it. And then export it after you save it. Step 0. Yes, backup. Always make a backup of everything you do. Make a backup. Backup. Live dangerously. Amen. No, you really shouldn't. Or hours of work is gone. Actually, not with Gaia, because you can do it in 10 seconds. Not really, but you know what I mean. Just a few minutes. Alright, so I want to make this zombie health. So we're gonna go collections generic, Unity engine, zombie health, model behavior, blah blah blah, curly brackets. Alright. So we're gonna go public integer enemy. You're not a real professional until you're up at 4:30 a.m. because you thought you were too good to back up. Problem of everyone. My family says, "Why do you stay upstairs all day?" My brain coding. Yeah. I was the same way. I was always... Actually, when I first got into game design, I was working on animations. That was the first thing I started doing before I knew anything else. I was playing around with animations because I thought animations was so much fun. Yeah, boy, did that turn out. Now I do everything else, and I barely touch animations. Yeah, that's my cat. I call her Kitty. Thanks. Enemy health. Health equals 20. Stay in your box. Thing, not box. Bread, whatever. And then public game object. The enemy. And then public integer status check. And then let's do void damage. Yeah, it would be void damage zombie. Integer damage amount. And then do curly brackets. And then we'll do enemy health minus equals damage amount. and then pow. Next we'll do void update. Void update. Not a private. I don't need a private. Void update. Curly brackets. If can you teach me some C#? Yeah. As much as possible. So when you're doing C#, you know, you're going to use your system collections. Basically, this is everything that you're pulling from, right? So your system collections, systems collections generic, and then we're pulling from, or we're using Unity Engine. Our public class is going to be, yeah, that's a good link. Oh, what was that? What was that damn commercial? What was it? The one you always hear on YouTube all the time. Oh, help me out. I can't think of it. You can learn code on Udemy or something like that. I can't remember now. They always have that ad for Udemy. Is it Udemy that I'm thinking? Star Wars, Star Wars. I can't remember now. It's like Udemy. Learn code faster or something like that. I can't remember. Raid Shadow Legends. Enemy health is equals 0. Code Academy. I don't think it was Code Academy. I can't remember. 0. And status check equals 0. Or Reddit. Yeah, there's tons of places to learn code. Google FU. Just is. Is Google FU a thing? I feel like you're trolling hard. No, like Kung Fu. Oh, okay. Y'all killing me. Open curly bracket. Status. We'll do a status check. Equals 2. Inline. Programmers must stay up till 1 a.m. and then wake up at 2 a.m. What? Yeah, do that. Do that. Google. Sick. Y'all killing me. Then the enemy dot get component. Animation. We'll stop his animation. It would be dot stop. The heck is going on? Let's start over. My name is Casual. Hi, Casual. Welcome. Walk. Inline. Saturday night at the park. location. Dot play. Backfall. I think that's the Saturday night you cry yourself to sleep. Ruthless. Because the beer bottle didn't want to come to your mouth. Y'all crazy. Y'all crazy. Close curly bracket. Close curly bracket. Close curly bracket. Alright, so that should be good there. So we'll save this. Now if we go back to our enemy. Yeah. Oh, it's still spawning here. Back to our enemy, zombie house. I don't think we need the global script there. We'll turn that off. I can't remember now. The enemy is this game object. Add that in there. Did we add in the player to the... No, we didn't. Back to our enemies. How about no? What? I'm confused about that one. Oh. Yeah. I think that's it. So if we attach that to our enemy. Now I can't remember. In any of the archive streams, did you ever go over road/pass with Gaia Pro? I know Adam had some sweet teaser pics before releasing that had some roads. Paths and stuff. So, kind of. With Gaia Pro, there is paths that are made. I'm trying to think. Is your name Adam too, Casual? Picking up what you're putting down there. So like, I don't know if we can see any here, because this is kind of a rough terrain. Unless I didn't spawn any in, I can't remember. Did I not spawn any in? So, doesn't look like I spawned anything in. Oh, we didn't have any in general, that's why. Okay. Because we did a forest biome. Yeah, I made all of this. Yeah, we used a forest biome, so we didn't have any paths. So, basically, there's a spawner for roads and paths that you can use. That you can spawn in, and we can add that in and take a look at it too. But this was supposed to be a forest. You made all that how? Using procedural worlds as assets. So Gaia Pro is a terrain generator, procedural terrain generator. I use CTS for the texturing and terrain. or the texturing. So all the texturing you see here. The water and all that stuff is with Gaia Pro. We used ambient skies for our time of day, for our day and night cycle. What else? Pegasus we used to capture our camera for like a demo scene. Yeah, we did a whole bunch. We'll be doing a lot more of these and stuff. All the stuff you see here. And then we played with the stamper to create this terrain like this. Corrosion what? Corrosion what? I don't know. What do you mean by corrosion what? Oh yeah, Gaia Pro, Pegasus, CTS 2019, Ambient Skies, Real Ivy. What else did we use, chat? I think that's all. We were just playing around with Sector a little bit ago. Yep, we've got Gina in here. Our Gina spawner. Okay. Here, you can do... Oh. What's the, hold on. So you can just... Here, just do this. W. Alright. You can check out that link that I just put in there. And you can see all of our products. And then if you go to... Let me think here. Pull this back up. Actually, we're on here right now. If you go to YouTube, and then you go to... Here, I'll post this link in here as well. That is not me. That is the owner of the company. And then just go to this YouTube channel, and we've got playlists and tutorials on all of our assets that we use. These are all of our assets and how to use them. And then you can kind of take a look at all this fun stuff. Oh, it turns it into a podcast. I didn't even know that. That's funny. Cool. So even our streams, for now on, our streams are going to be in here as well. Yeah. From Deva, sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Ivy growth, if can be easily fit to axis, would be cool for growing tentacles and anything like that. I don't own Ivy yet. Have the rest. You can flip it, if I'm not mistaken. So if we actually go back to a real Ivy here, and we pull up, go to Window, Procedure Roles, Real Ivy. Let me think. Branch settings. So you can... No, it'd be growth settings, maybe. Oh, there it is, the angle. So you can change the angle right here. Deva. Sorry. And we can actually see this growth now. Actually, is this our runtime? That is our runtime. There we go. So if we look at this one. What do you do in your free time? Because in my free time, I study games. In my free time? What free time? I mean, I like to play games in my free time every now and then. So I do a lot of GTA RP roleplay, which is through FiveM. It's not GTA like you know it, probably, if you've ever heard of FiveM. It's completely modding the server into a roleplay scenario where you have jobs and stuff like that. I play a lot of other games like Apex and Star Citizen and a few other ones. I want to actually get into Escape from Tarvik. That will probably be my next venture, is to get into that. You may like Conan Exiles RP. I've never tried it. I know that they were wanting to do Red Dead RP, Red Dead Redemption. Free time. What is that in English? Is it a word in English, right? My PC is a GTX 1650, 16 gigabyte RAM, and an i3 3 gen. i3, like the Intel 3. You need to upgrade your processor for sure. I would think you need if you're saying that you have an Intel i3, then you need to upgrade your processor. I don't see very many things running in on an i3, to be honest with you. Everything else looks good. 16 gigabyte RAM is pretty standard. Your graphics card is fantastic. So yeah, I would upgrade your processor. Casual Gamer, thanks for coming out, buddy. I appreciate it. Thank you. Hope to see you around sometime. He said thanks. Okay. Yeah, I would expect to see a better Intel processor on that. I mean, it might be possible to run an i3, but I don't think so. I think that that's way beyond what it needs to be. Let me check just to make sure, because I don't want to tell you wrong, but I'm pretty sure. Run on an Intel i3. Huh? Oh, that was back in 2014. It may be possible. Yeah, it might be possible to do it. That's actually kind of surprising to me. Well, it's Unity's run on one thread, so maybe it just might be really slow. Yeah, I mean, there's no sense in trying. If you can't, then upgrade your processor. But everything else looks great. That's what I would do. That's definitely what I would do. Oh yeah, so yeah, to get back to this. So we had our enemy here. Let's zombie health. So let's try this again. I think I still need to do the node editor and his animation. Yep, I still need to do his animation because he's still stuck on looping in spot. So we'll do animation controller maybe? Yep, this would be it. Now I just gotta remember animation. Oh, here we go. Okay, so I don't even have to create that one. New animation. We'll delete that one. Animations, pow. Alright. So here's the fun part when it comes to this. So it's all looping back right now, but we need to get it to a point of actually working. So a bunch of if-then statements here. So if at entry he's at idle, right? And then from idle he needs to go to falling back, walk in place, walk in place. No, he just needs to go to walk. What's his... walk in place, and then... why is there two walk in places? That doesn't make sense. So, he would need to go... let's break these lines. Any state. Good. And, well, we would start him off at idle. And then he would definitely need to go... no, let's not do it that way. I'm trying to think here. It's been a long time since I had to do this. So we'll go walk in place. Actually, we'll break that. We need to go... let's just delete all these. We have them all right here. Alright, so at entry point, he's at idle. From idle, he is going to either walk in place, or he's going to run in place. If he sees the player, which in here... forget how we need to do this. It's been so long. So entry, while idle, walk in place or run in place. Although he's not going to actually run in place. Yeah, I think that's how it's... and then from here, he is going to either go... oh, there's zombie walk right there. Zombie run. There it is. Is that zombie idle? Yeah, zombie idle. Which we don't need that one. So delete those. He's going to either walk or he's going to run. And then from there, if he sees the player, he's going to attack. No, he'd go back to idle, because that would be his in place. And then he would attack. And then zombie idle again. And then attack. And then from attack, he's either going to run again, or he's going to fall backwards or fall forward, or it'd be falling backwards. Would it be a good idea to turn my terrain into a prefab before using sector in case I wanted to bring the original terrain back? No, just save it back up. Just save it back up. I mean, you could save it as a prefab, but just take it out. Take the prefab out of the project. Save it back up and then do it. I feel like I need the player. Yeah, always back up your whole project. So if he's attacking, he's more likely gonna get killed. So we have falling back or falling forward. Just do another save as, and then save it into save it as a different scene, and then save the project. That's what I would do. So running until he meets the player again. He's not going to run in place. He's going to zombie walk. If he falls over, he's dead. No problem. And then from attacking, he's either going to fall forward or fall backwards. And that's going to show he's dead. And then make transition. That would show he's dead. That would show he's dead. That would show that he would show. Or he's going to continue walking. And then from that way, actually we'll make this up here. He would start back over. Hey, thanks for hosting, buddy. He would start over. So I'm pretty sure if I'd done this correctly, the only thing that's worrying me about this is the player. Because I thought, I can't remember to be exact. I'll have to look it up again. But this would be the correct path. But I don't know the player. I added you to my auto host. I appreciate it, buddy. I don't know if the player would be in here. I'm pretty sure it would. But that would be the direct path. So let's test this theory. I could be way off here, but let's test it. Why not? Way off. I got him to start moving. That's the first part of it. But I'm definitely way off here. And he needs a collision. Not way off, because he was stagnant, so he needs a collision for one. So do mesh collider, or let's do, go back. We'll do collider first. Oh, mesh collider. Mesh collider. There we go. Alright, so we have a mesh. Does look cool when he runs at you. Yeah, he should be running at the character. The player. Oh, here we go. Enemy. The player. Maybe I just forgot to add it. Ah, here we go. That's what it was. I forgot to add it. Now he's running at me, but he's floating in air. Is it because he wasn't touching the ground, maybe? So he's definitely attacking me, which is good. When he gets close to me. Okay, so now he's walking on sunshine. So he's running at me, which is good. That's a good good first step. And he's following my character. He's a little fast, and he's way up in the air. So we need to bring him back to the ground. Maybe that's what it is. Let's see. Yeah, he's above the grass there. Let's drop him back down. Poop. And then let's play this again. Do I have any audio going? I don't even know. Okay, so he's... The first step is complete. He is following me, but he's floating in air. So, you're definitely going to have to play with that a bit. But why is he floating in air? Is it because he doesn't have gravity on him? Is that it? Let's do a rigid body on him. Alright, let's test this theory. Oh. Whoa. He's floating in air now. Does he... What's going on here now? Okay, so he needs to be... he's bouncing up is what he's doing. Now his feet's on the ground. Alright, let's see if that worked. Whoa. Talk about a jump scare. Can you imagine that while you're playing? So definitely a rigid body is not the way to go here. That broke everything. So let's take the rigid body off. What if we set this to 0? Zero's Infinity. Let's test this again. Something's really happening here. Okay. So he's falling through the ground. He's got a mesh collider. Let me open this door. I'll be right back. Oh. That's not right. Imagine that when you're walking through here. He just flies out of nowhere. Alright, so let's remove this. Because that definitely didn't help things out. Yeah, we might play around with this a little bit more later. But the biggest thing is we've got our zombie in here. He's running at us. We might change our day and night cycle a little bit. Get those working and acting right. There's no animation attached to the end of the camera, which goes to the axis. Should be animation. I might have to redo that at some point. So next time we'll get the character or the zombie to start chasing after us, or chase after us correctly. Clean these errors up, and probably go from there. That's so cool looking down there. I think that's what we'll do next time. And then we'll play with our scene a little bit more. Maybe add in some collectibles for your character to gather before he can leave. I think that'd probably be pretty cool. But we'll mess with this guy a little bit more. And maybe start adding in like checkpoints at some of the houses in different places here. I think that'd be pretty cool. All right, everyone. Well, I think it's gonna be it for this. We'll do some. We'll work on the enemy next time. Maybe add in some ambient sounds to it, and do like a script on the bad guy when he's coming towards the character to make it more defined that he's chasing you, and then do some like checkpoints and stuff like that. I think there's a bunch we can do with it, but it's starting to come together. Then we might start taking a look at menu screens and start creating one of those, a pause menu. So I think we probably have a little bit of fun with this. Game Garden, good night, buddy. Yeah. And then, like I said, if you guys have any questions, or if there's something that you guys want to do, I have a suggestion box now on the channel, so feel free to pop those in anytime, and I'll take a look at them. And then, like I said, if there's anything that you guys are wanting to see, we can take a look at those as well. But I think that's going to be it for tonight. So everybody have a good night. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned some things. Kind of see our assets, ask a ton of questions, all that fun stuff. I appreciate talking with you guys, everybody that followed and liked the videos. Like I said, we'll be streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So feel free to hop into any one of those. And yeah, make sure you join our Discord. I'll post the link in the description below for you YouTubers and Facebook people. And that's going to be it. Alright, everybody. Have a good night. Appreciate everybody coming out. Thank you. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.